Suspend your disbelief, your rational, analytic mind, just for a minute, just for the length of this podcast. What if all I am about to tell you is the truth? What if the information you will be provided is from a divine source? Just for this time, I am your Axis Mundi. Consider this podcast your channel, your second opinion. When I do a reading, something larger than myself is working through me. So ask what you wish. This is your channel, your doorway to the divine. Welcome to you to JohnsTarot. Welcome to you from Florida.
You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Welcome to you from Georgia.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Welcome to you from California.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back.
Welcome to you from Illinois.
You are talking to a man who has laughed in the face of death, sneered at doom, and chuckled at catastrophe.
Welcome to you from Missouri.
This is all your fault, you.
Welcome to you from New Jersey.
Now, don't make any more mistakes.
Welcome to you from Russia, of all places.
Calling Dr. Howard, Dr. Fine, Dr. Howard.
Welcome to you from Victoria, Australia.
We can coexist, but only on my terms. You will say you lose your freedom. Freedom is an illusion. All you lose is the emotion of pride. To be dominated by me is not as bad for human pride as to be dominated by others of your species.
Welcome to you from Germany.
Hello.
Hello.
And welcome to you from Poland.
Hey, it's alive. Get something and kill it. Kill it.
And welcome to you from wherever in the world you might be listening to this podcast. I got out to Russia this week. Man, I was totally surprised. Welcome to JohnsTarot. Sometimes I struggle in order to find a topic. You know, what am I going to do this week's show on? This week was not a problem because right at the end of the week, how can I say this? Right, we have the breakup of the world's biggest bromance.
Oh, the pain. The pain. Oh, the pain. The pain.
That's right. And it was a breakup between Elon Musk and our president, Donald J. Trump. And I'm going to go, I think it's a pretty big deal. And it definitely requires some examination. So today's program is going to be some tarot readings on possible consequences of that breakup. Yeah, you would think just a little breakup, not a big deal. But this one is a big deal. A breakup between the world's richest man and the world's most powerful man, or at least what used to be the world's most powerful man. Let me move over to my other page. So, Dateline, June 6th, 2025, United States of America. I'm going to give a little rundown of the wars that were happening between Trump and Elon. They were flaming each other online. So first, Trump fired Elon and asked him to leave the White House. Apparently, Elon doesn't take well to being fired. And then Trump announced it. And he announced it like, I asked Elon to leave. So he publicly embarrasses Elon. Elon doesn't do well with this. Elon doesn't do well with this at all. Elon went to immediately online and called Trump's bill an abomination. His big, beautiful bill, called it an abomination. That fired old Trump up. He didn't care for that at all. He wants this bill passed. His billionaire buddies need a tax break. So he got back online, and Trump said he's going to cancel all tax credit for Teslas. And so it's going to cancel all tax credits for Teslas. Elon's struggling car company. That didn't go over well with Elon. Now, remember, we got two of the world's biggest egos and two of the world's biggest narcissists. I mean, we could have guessed this relationship was going to break up. This is not too big of a surprise. So he's going to get rid of all the he's going to get rid of all the tax credit for Teslas and try to kill Elon's business. So Elon then got back online, and somebody said, I forget how else came out, but essentially Elon called for the impeachment of Donald Trump. Whoa. Now MAGA has gone insane. Then you can't say that against Trump. Trump gets back online and said he's going to call off all government contracts. Now, if you call off all government contracts with Musk, that was his point. He's going to call off all government contracts with Musk. That means he's going to call off Dragon X. That means he's going to get rid of the opportunities to get our astronauts down from the space station. No more going to Mars, no more going to the moon. He's going to cancel all those contracts. Well, Elon's not going to let that go either. This is crazy, huh? So we'll play this one a little bit more. Well, Elon drops the big bomb. Elon drops the big bomb, and he implicates Trump with Epstein. And this is a Fox News station picture I got up right behind me out of Fox News. So he says that Trump's name is all over the Epstein report. I do not doubt that. I do not doubt that at all. I've done some readings on it before, and it's probably more serious than that. But, and probably some other major Democratic politicians' names are on that list too, in that report. That's why they're not revealing it. But he came right out there and said it. Well, MAGA's not going to put up with this. MAGA's not going to put up with this at all. So, what's his name? Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon has got to get into the fray. And he says that maybe that we should, Trump can deport Elon back to South Africa. Now, after all, Trump has a history of illegal deportation or without anyway appearing before a judge, without due process. He can send his masked thugs over and snag Elon and send him to the El Salvadorian prison, what they call it, ECOT prison, or CECOT prison in El Salvador, with no due process, no appearing before a judge. Just snag him up and off he goes. World's richest man in prison in El Salvador. It could happen. He's done it to other people. He could do it to Elon. So I think we need to ask some questions. we need to ask some questions. That's essentially what happened. I do have some questions. One of the issues with this also is that Elon controls Twitter. Is it Twitter, Twitch, one of those? I don't really follow those social media things that much, but he owns the one that Trump made his big. He manipulated that. He manipulated Twitter in his 2016 bid for presidency and won the presidency with Elon's help. And then, so Elon has control of that, and he controls the Trumposphere, the MAGAsphere, and he pumps out positive message through the back door of Twitter, Twitch, whatever he controls there. And he can get in there and control the messaging of Donald Trump. Donald Trump owns his own messaging service, but very few people subscribe to it. It's been a big loser. So Trump also has he's holding that card as well. So he may backstab Trump through not letting his messages get through in the MAGAsphere. So we got some big questions to ask. Let me move over to my tarot cam right from the start. There we go. My ability to read tarot is a gift. It's an expression of divine love. And I'm here to share it with you in that same spirit. If you're watching this on YouTube, that is the That is the Pantheon in Rome in the background. I use that as my numinous place. I chose the Pantheon because great governments have risen and fallen, all with the Pantheon standing in the background. The government and the society of ancient Rome rose and fell. Who's to say that's not to happen to us too? A very appropriate background for today. So let's ask some questions. What do you say, huh? What are we going to ask? Let's will Trump, it's going to be a 6 card, yes or no. Will Trump, in this battle with Mr. Musk, defeat Elon? And we're going to shuffle the deck. And all yes or no questions. I can just make this a little smaller. It's a yes or no. And all my yes and no questions, swords and pentacles are no. Wands and cups are yes. Will Trump defeat Elon in this battle of the egos? That's what I'm going to call it. Will Trump defeat Elon in this battle? Now, this really could be the beginning of the end for Trump. This could be this is June 6th. This is D-Day. This could be the D-Day, the assault on authoritarian and fascist leadership in the United States. The beginning of the end, just as it was the beginning of the end of Nazi Germany. This could be the beginning of the end for Mr. Trump. I don't know. So let's go ahead and draw the cards. Will Trump defeat Elon in this battle? First card is a 8 of Pentacles. That's a no. Second card is the Hermit. I always throw out all major arcana. Third card is the 8 of Wands. Fourth card is so I got 1 and 1 in the Hermit. And then the fourth card is the Knight of Wands. That's a yes. I got 2 yeses. Will Trump defeat Elon in this battle of the gigantic egos? Temperance, we'll throw it out. And what is this card? So according to the tarot, yes, Trump will defeat Elon in this battle of egos. Okay. If I were to do a reading on this independently, I would say the person being Trump, that is the apprentice, and that how very appropriate is that for being Trump? The person, that the apprentice, he's been working real hard, really working very diligently in order to accomplish his goals. That is pretty accurate. A person in relation to the question, the Hermit, that is Trump as well. He has come a long way. He has overcome a lot of tremendous obstacles, and he's come this way. And in his hands, he holds the light, the lantern of wisdom, and a staff to steady himself on his journey. And he stands on a mountain peak, and he looks back on the way he has come, and on the distance he has yet to go. So that is then a person in relation to the question. He has come to the peak, the pinnacle. Now the problem is with climate coming to a pinnacle. Everything in the universe has its seasons, right? Everything happens in cycles. So as you come up the mountain, after you reach the peak, you must go down the other side. And that is just the way things happen. Things happen in a cycle. So we got the apprentice, we got the Hermit. They're also considered to be the wise one at the pinnacle. And then the wand's goal, or what it takes to achieve the goal, whatever's going to happen, is going to happen very quickly. We have the Eight of Wands. Whatever is going to happen with this war between Elon and Trump is going to happen very quickly. Trump is going to succeed, but it's going to happen very quickly. And then I have the Knight of Wands, and that would indicate to achieve the goal, assume the position as the Knight of Wands. So for Trump to successfully do this, so the problem is with the Knight of Wands, he is very eager to go. He's always full of enthusiasm. He's always the beginning of a battle. He's eager to get into battle. Trump is eager to go ahead and battle Elon, but sometimes you don't think through the consequences of what you're doing. And the Knight of Wands tries to get you to slow down, think about what you're doing, think about what the possible consequences of your actions before you move forward. And then also the Knight of Wands has to do with sometimes, no matter how hard you try, you're never going to be able to get another party to see their own shortcomings. So even, I know that may refer directly to Trump. He is never able to see his own shortcomings. He always sees himself as correct, as right, as never wrong, and he's going to charge in a battle, and he's not going to stop and take a look at it. Obstacles, temperance, moderation. The card that is not a card, and that is an obstacle for Trump. He never stops to think about his possible obstacles, and with the obstacles, the tarot is suggesting he show moderation. He show a little thought. He show a little temperance in his reaction to Trump. And then the final card, advice for the tarot gives the little advice for Trump, is that the Nine of Wands I always call that one the veteran. The veteran stands there with a patch over his eye. He's been through many battles, and he's leaning against a wand, getting ready for another battle. Though thoroughly beaten in battles, wounded in battles, he's ready to take on another fight. And because he considers this to be very important to him. And that's how Trump is looking at the situation. He sees himself as a veteran. He sees himself as willing to take on the battle, willing to take the fight to Elon. And I think that's what we can expect. Things are going to happen very quickly. Trump is going to be rash. The tarot is suggesting that he use a little temperance, a little moderation, but Trump is ready for the fight. So that's what they say about that, huh? Let me go ahead and gather the cards. What other questions could I ask about this? Let's shuffle the deck. And I'm just wondering, yes or no? 3 cards. 3 cards, yes or no? Will Trump try to deport Elon? Oh, that's what the MAGAverse is suggesting. Well, and I think that's a good question. Will Trump try to deport Elon? And I'm just going to draw 3 cards on this, and I'll throw some runes on it too. What can we expect with Trump trying to deport Elon and get rid of his citizenship? Let me make this a little bigger so we can see it. I'll probably throw some runes on this one too. All right. What can we expect as far as Trump trying to deport Elon? Let me shuffle the deck a little bit more. Will Trump try to deport Elon and send him to CECOT in El Salvador? My first card is the 3 of Pentacles. He's building a case. He's working on it. He's obviously considering it. Second card, the Page of Wands. That has to do with independence. And then the third card is the Hangman. I don't get a yes or no, but he's considering it. Let me throw some runes on this just to make it more interesting. Odin Freya, please help guide this reading. Is Trump considering sending Elon to the CECOT prison in El Salvador? The 3 of Pentacles, Page of Wands, and a Hangman. The 3 of Pentacles. The rune is called Langus. I know that one. The second rune for the Page of Wands. Yeah, this one wasn't hard to figure out. And this rune is called Enzus, the messenger. Loki, the ancient Indian messenger. And the Hangman. I know what that means. I know exactly what that means. And then this is Gabo. Partnerships, the divine partnerships, partnerships with the divine partnerships. So, is Trump going to deport Elon to CECOT prison? He is considering it, and he's working up a case. And he's really, Elon's in a lot more trouble than they realize. He's going to take on Trump. So I don't think Elon's going to back down either. So Trump is considering, he's building up his case. He's building up his, he's putting his pieces in order, and he's considered doing it. Darun Langus, as he's waiting to get enough information, he's waiting to get enough evidence, and he's waiting to put enough pieces in place before he implements his plan that he's building. Trump, the Page of Wands, considers himself to be an independent. He doesn't take advice from anyone. He does what he wants, and he's really not beholden to the Republican Party or the Democratic Party or to the Constitution. He considers himself to be independent, and he takes his orders from the messenger. Now, who could the messenger be? Who could this little Russian messenger be? And so he is waiting to get his orders from Moscow, is my opinion. And we'll just see what happens. And then the hangman, sacrifice, hanging between this world and the next, and hanging there to gain wisdom and sacrifice. So at this point in the future, it's really not pointing to Trump. He's kind of hung. He's kind of caught. He's caught between a rock and a hard spot. He can't really deport Elon, and he's waiting, and he really can't do it. He's kind of stuck between worlds, and then because he's considering the message he gets from Moscow, he's considering does he need this partnership? Does it have to? Is he going to try to mend this partnership? He's not quite. He still needs Elon in some ways. So he needs all that money and he needs that support. So what a weird reading. So right now he's considering it. Trump is considering deporting Elon. He's building his case. He's not listening to anybody. He's waiting to hear from Mr. Putin in Moscow. And right now he's waiting. He's hanging between spaces, and he's waiting to see if he can mend this partnership or whether he's going to strengthen his partnership with Moscow. And that is what he's doing with that. What else do we have? I think my next question will be, will JD Vance assume the presidency before, and this will be a strict yes or no, will JD Vance assume the presidency but before the midterms? Because this is just catastrophic, the stuff that's going on. This is all stuff that Trump is considering, all stuff that he wants to do, but will he be able to do it? Let's gather the cards. I'm just using the basic Raider White deck. Will JD Vance, 6 cards, will JD Vance assume the presidency before the midterms? And I'm not even going to get into what's going to happen after the midterms. I haven't looked at it. Sometimes I don't like to look that far into the future. I'll just go one day at a time. Anyway, this is June 6th. It's kind of a big day for me. 36 years, if you've seen my past thing on sobriety. So, will J.D. Vance assume the presidency before the midterms? And let's shuffle the deck. There we go. Because Trump possibly has made a lot of enemies with this. He's having problems with getting his big, beautiful bill passed. He's had problems with his own party, the Republican Party, which he just wants to follow him. He doesn't consider himself a member of that party. He's not going to take any suggestions from them. He just wants what he wants. And he's always gotten everything he's wanted throughout his entire life. And there's never been any consequences for him through his entire life. And he's never had to respect law enforcement through his entire life. and he's never done anything for anybody else in his entire life. So why would we expect him to do anything for the American people now? So will JD Vance assume the presidency before the midterms? Again, wands and cups are yes. Pentacles and swords are no. My first card is a pentacle. That's a no. As a page of pentacles. My second card, Queen of Swords. That's a no. Third card, Ace of Cups. That's a yes. The Fool. We'll throw that one out. The Emperor. We're going to throw that one out. So far I have 2 no's and a yes. And another yes, the 4 of Cups. So I'll throw another one to break the tie. I've got a tie between a Page of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, between the Ace of Cups and the 4 of Cups. And my 7th card, will JD Vance assume the presidency before the midterms? As a no. Ace of Pentacles is a big no. Okay. All right, we can deal with that. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up for today.
Goodbye, Professor Marvel, and thanks a lot!
It's been my pleasure. I'm glad I was able to be here and join you. You know, I was kind of tough on Mr. Trump today, but I want to add this. I've been giving this some thought, and I really find Mr. Trump an object of pity. I do pity him because he is alone. He doesn't, all his relationships through his entire life have been transactional. That includes with his family, with his sons, with his daughter. You remember during the first presidency, the Trump boys were involved in the presidency and in government. So was Ivania and Jared. Now they're nowhere to be found. Melania is not in the house. He's got nobody there. He has no loving family. He has no real friends that are interested in looking out for him. He has handlers and people who are interested in manipulating him for their own personal political aims, but he doesn't have any real friends. And he wanders to a darkened White House after hours, communing with the ghosts of past presidents, and then posting crazy posts on online forums about President Biden being a robot or being a clone. And, he's not stable. His physical health is not well. And I'm afraid I didn't ask this question, but I don't think he's going to finish his presidency. He's going to die alone and afraid. So as much as I don't care for his style of leadership, I pity him because he doesn't even have the basics of a warm, loving human life. And for that, I feel sorry for him. So until next week, be careful, be cool, be kind. And remember, have courage, find faith. And if you want to be interviewed on John's Tarot, please send me a note. Send me to John at johnstarot.net, and we'll set up an interview. Or if you if you like a personal reading, I'd be happy to do that for you too. So until next week, be careful, be cool, be kind, and I'll see you all again next week. Okay, bye-bye.